It's Friday, November 4th, 2022, and this is the Washington Times front page. Thanks for joining us. I'm George Gerbo. Defense Secretary Lloyd Austin and his South Korean counterpart are vowing that any nuclear attack from North Korea against the United States or South Korea would mean the end of the Kim Jong-un regime. Military reporter Mike Glenn reports South Korean Minister of National Defense Lee Jong-sup said the joint U.S.-South Korean statement is a strong warning to North Korea. The statement came hours after North Korea launched a new missile barrage, including an intercontinental ballistic missile test that has sent tensions soaring across the region. The North has said its latest display, which some see as a prelude to a nuclear weapons test, is in protest of U.S.-South Korean military exercises that it considers a threat to its security. Austin noted that North Korea launched the missiles as South Koreans were mourning the loss of more than 150 who were crushed and killed during Halloween celebrations in Seoul. Advisors to former President Trump are convinced he will launch another White House run, but his team has different ideas about whether he should jump in right after the midterm elections or hold off on an announcement. National politics reporter Susan Ferricchio reports complicating matters is a looming criminal indictment that may be handed down over Trump's role in the January 6th riot at the U.S. Capitol and the removal of classified documents from the White House when he left office. Trump hasn't officially declared that he will run, but has alluded to the thought at the political rallies he's staged this year in support of Republican candidates. Staying with the midterms, the Trump-fueled antipathy that helped Democrats net more than 40 seats and flip control of the House in 2018 has morphed into visceral discontent with the direction of the country and left multiple members of Congress vulnerable. Seth MacLachlan reports Cynthia Axne of Iowa, Tom Malinowski of New Jersey, Elaine Luria of Virginia, and Jared Golden of Maine are among the dozens of House Democrats elected in 2018 who are now fighting for their seats this fall. Their uphill battles have been weighed down by President Biden and voter anxiety over inflation, the economy, crime, and border security. According to Cook Political Report rankings, 16 House Democrats, including Luria and Golden, are running in toss-up races, compared with 6 incumbent Republicans. Another 3 House Democrats, including Axne and Malinowski, are running in lean Republican districts. You can read all of these stories at WashingtonTimes.com/front page. You can also find our entire lineup of news, commentary, and sports podcasts at WashingtonTimes.com/podcasts. The U.S. withdrawal from Afghanistan is having little measurable impact on the midterm elections, according to analysts and polling data. Against the backdrop of current issues driving the debate, Ben Wolfgang reports American political dialogue has little bandwidth for Afghanistan and the ramifications of the pullout on U.S. national security in the years to come. Had the chaotic scenes of the withdrawal played out this August, specialists say Democrats might have paid a serious price at the polls. Instead, enough time has passed that Afghanistan seems to be a non-factor. Perhaps it's fitting that a Supreme Court now deciding the largest affirmative action case in 50 years finally has 2 black justices sitting on it. Alex Schwaryer reports one, Justice Clarence Thomas, has long made clear that he thinks the government must be colorblind when it approaches these questions. The other, newly minted Justice Ketanji Brown Jackson, said the prevailing legal precedent is that the Constitution is not colorblind. She's worried that taking race out of the equation would be untrue and unfair. The 2 cases being weighed by the justices challenge race-based college admissions policies at North Carolina and Harvard. And finally, Stephen Dinan looks at the numbers of those suspected of terrorism who've been caught at the southern U.S. border with Mexico. Customs and Border Protection reported that over the 12 months of fiscal year 2022, Border Patrol agents captured 98 people whose names were flagged in the terrorism watch list. 20 were caught in September alone, breaking the previous high shown in CBP's records. That came on top of 15 more caught at the southern border in 2021. By contrast, just 11 were caught at the southern border from 2017 to 2020. Find all of today's front page stories at WashingtonTimes.com/front page or on the Washington Times app, and find us wherever you get your podcasts. Just search Washington Times in any major podcast app. For the Washington Times, I'm George Gerbo.